Okay, so what we're going to do real quick is we're just going to go through this one that you should have already done. So this is the one you just worked on. We're going to show you how to solve it to try to help you out a little bit. And we'll start with the first clue here that says Ish is older than Matthew. So we've got all the kids' names up here, and we'll look at Ish first. Now, if he's older than Matthew, the one thing that we do know is that Ish cannot be the youngest person because Matthew would have to be younger. So Ish cannot be the youngest person. So the only way that helps us right now is to put an X in Ish's there because again, he can't be the youngest because Matthew has to be younger. Well, let's see if that helps us out later then. Clue number two, Maxwell was through 7 3 years ago. So if he was 7 3 years ago, then that means now Maxwell is going to be 10. So that does help us out. So we'll come down here to Maxwell. And I'm going to put a little check mark here where Maxwell is 10. And remember, if Maxwell is 10, then we can put X's on everything else that he's not. There you go. So we'll go ahead and X out all of his. And nobody else can be 10 either. So we're going to go ahead and put X's on all the rest of those there. The next one says that Nathan's age is not an odd number. So Nathan's age is not an odd number, which means it is an even number. So we come down here to Nathan, which means that his age has to be an even number. So it can't be 7 and it can't be 9. It could be 12 or 14 though, so we'll leave those two blank. Number 4, Matthew is half of Colin's age. Okay, so let's see here. So we look at Matthew here. So if we take Matthew's age and double it, that's going to be Colin. If Matthew is 7, that means Colin's 14. That could work out. If Matthew was 9, that means that Colin's 18. Well, that doesn't work out because there's no 18 on there. So the only way that it would work out is if Matthew has to be 7 because he'd be 7, then that means that Colin is going to be 14. And so we'll say Colin then is 14. So Matthew is half of Colin's age. That's the only one that would work out. So then we cross off again everything else. Nobody else is 7. Matthew is nobody else's age. Cross off all the 14s and cross off all of the Collins. There you go. And now what that leaves us with is, again, just a couple of blanks. We have a blank here for Ish, and we have a blank here for Nathan. Now, again, looking at this, the only thing that we could have, the only, let's see, oh, there they are. The only age that Nathan could be, because his is the only one that we have there that is not checked off, is going to be 12. So just by looking at here, there's a blank there for Nathan. That means that he has to be 12. So we're going to put a check mark there for Nathan, which also means, again, that Nathan is not going to be, or Ish is not going to be 12. And then the only one that we have left up here is going to be Ish, who is 9. And then we can go back to that first clue that we had that we weren't quite sure about. It said Ish is older than Matthew. If Ish is going to be 9, then Matthew is 7, and that does work out. So Ish is older than Matthew. And there we go. So that's what you should have come up with.